Welcome back to the Balcony AUX Chord podcast. You're back again with me, Mark, and a Findi. He's on the other side of the world right now. And Balcony AUX Chord is a podcast that is built on the idea of a group of friends talking about life, talking about shit that is in their life, surrounding their life on a balcony, right? And we used to listen to music on this balcony, and we used to nerd out to music and talk about life and how it relates to life and how, you know, all that bullshit. But now it's evolved into a podcast where two friends get to converse each week. So we welcome you guys to listen in on this week as we will be talking about death, funeral,
we're talking about
some heavy stuff. In the beginning, I think some heavy stuff, but we're gonna mix it in with some goofy shit as always. You know, like you gotta have that roller coaster of emotions, you know, to really understand the psychology of Mark and Findi. Is like we're never really a one-noter.
Yeah, it's a defense thing. This is make jokes. Yeah, it's a defense mechanism
for sure. But yeah, how are you, Findi? Let's before we get to anything.
Oh man, it's not a fun time out here.
Is this still lockdown?
Yeah, we're going into another lockdown actually, probably today. They're gonna announce it at like 3.
Yeah.
But very likely that the lockdown restrictions gonna be extended. So can't do shit.
That's rough.
It's hard, man. Can't no jobs opportunities, no anything. Yeah. Just a lot of rain and not being able to go anywhere and see anyone.
That's so rough. But nothing exciting?
Nothing exciting.
Wow. What appropriate time to talk about funerals and death.
What about you?
I'm okay. Still? Pretty busy still. I got over the hump, as I think I mentioned last week, but I'm over it now, and there's still work to do, but it's like plateaued to some degree. So it's okay. I'm rocking the bedhead look. I've washed my hair. No, Same. Nothing. Yeah. I was asking Findi if I should wear a hat. And he was like, fuck it, bro.
I shampooed last night, and this is what it looks like.
Exactly. This is my shampooed hair too. Anyhow, last week we talked about weddings, and we kind of touched a little bit. We talked about how this week we might be talking about funerals and a dream funeral, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So one day, if our kids or our nephews and our nieces come across this and they're what did Grandpa Findi want out of his funeral? This is the place to get the information. And it'll be funny to see how it will divert from this kind of ideal as 20-year-olds to maybe something in the future where we might be we don't want to cause any trouble for our kids, but at this point I want to cause all the trouble for my kids. But
what are
you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
If you die in the future,
I mean, I think we're all gonna die.
Assuming life comes to an end. Hypothetically speaking.
Right. It might not happen.
Hypothetically speaking, let's talk about your funeral. What would you like at your funeral? Let's start off with that.
I think, to be honest, it will have to be a big funeral.
Okay.
Cause I have a really big ego, right? Okay. And I already assume that I have a lot of people who want to go to my funeral.
Why a big funeral and not
a big wedding?
And not a big wedding, yeah.
Because a funeral is to celebrate life, right? And it's I think of myself as a person of the people, I'm whoever wants to come can come, right?
Yeah.
But a wedding is kind of exclusive to me and my significant other. It's not just me anymore.
Yeah.
But if it was just me, it'll be whatever, right? Anything goes. So I mean, it sounds kind of cocky, but I really do think that
You want a big funeral?
Yeah, I do want a big funeral, and I'm assuming that I have enough people in my life that would want to come to my funeral.
I want to go to your funeral.
I mean,
yeah,
you might die first.
yeah. If I don't, I'd be there.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you been?
What?
How about you? Yeah. How about you?
I think I'd want a small funeral.
Really?
Yeah.
Like when you say small, how big? Like people?
Like I like a wedding. I want like a decent size, but for a funeral, like I don't want a lot of people.
Why?
I don't know. Like I don't know. If I'm assuming that I'm conscious through all of this and I see people come, I don't want to see like random people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like as a ghost or a spirit or
right.
a soul.
But
like,
you would be okay with
random people in my funeral? Yeah.
In your wedding?
Yeah. In my wedding, it's fine. Like just as long as you dress up, you know. As long as your costume is like accurate, it's good. Like you can be anyone.
That's pretty fun.
But my wedding, I want like close people. Because
contradicting to what you just said.
What do you mean?
So you want people?
No. Funeral. I want like close people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. But why?
I don't feel like I'm already dead. Like.
But if they want to mourn for you,
I want random people mourning for me. What the fuck? Like at my wedding, it's fine. Yeah. Like it's a happy day. But like at my funeral, like if I'm just like if I'm floating around like as a spirit or a soul or something, you know, like I'd want to just see familiar faces. Like I wouldn't want to see like random. You know what I mean? It's if I'm parting the world, like the last thing I want to see is just like, you know, people I'm chill with.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I went to a funeral recently and I mean like they weren't close to me or anything, so I was like to be honest, I wasn't paying attention much. But the whole time like they're a rich family and they hired a quartet, like a string quartet to play like songs, right? And like this lady who did pass was like 100 and something. And in Thai culture, once you're like past 100, Chinese culture actually, it's kind of celebrated. Really, it's not like a mourning. It's kind of like celebration of life.
Oh, what a beast!
And
she made it
literally, and
absolute monster.
And so they were playing like joyful music, which was different. Like you walked into it and you thought it was like a wedding of some sort. And you're like, what the fuck? There's like a coffin in the middle. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that kind of gave me the kind of like, it inspired me to be like, hey, like, why not have a fucking band, bro? Like, I'll have a band at my wedding.
Okay, budget, not budget. Not thinking about budget.
No, like the thing is at that funeral, like I made a playlist and I called it Last Call. It's a funeral playlist for my kids and my nephews to listen to and to play it at my funeral.
What? Is this playlist public? I have not seen it.
I think it is public, but it's songs that I want to be played at my funeral. And like hoping it is played by a band.
Can you read out one song from that?
I'll read you the whole damn playlist.
Oh shit! God damn.
No, but the idea of it is like these are songs that represent me as a person, as well as it represents, like saying goodbye in a way. So like a mix, right, would be like September, but like in like a way that is not like lit, you know.
Oh,
they would have to rearrange September into a different arrangement, but it would have to be September, right?
That's lit.
And then I have a lot of Marvin Gaye, a lot of Al Green. I have Stop This Train.
Oh no. He got hit by a train.
Yeah.
At his funeral.
Yeah.
That's how Mark cause of death hits by a train.
It's about
Songs
growing
at funeral,
old. It's about growing old, man. It's about growing old. So I felt like it was appropriate. And I put in On My Way Home to You by Michael Franks. It's like going home to like peace, inner peace. I don't know about God, but going home to your spiritual belongings, I suppose. And yeah, like I have Rock With You as well, Michael Jackson, but I want it to be played in like a symphony format. So I also want like a symphony big band, like
wow,
yeah, and maybe I also want the like Kanye's Sunday service choir.
Oh my goodness.
To just be around my coffin, and just singing Kanye
Father, stretch my hands as you're lowered to the grave.
They have to sing New Slaves. Or what other hard song that Kanye has?
They Bound to as you're lowered into the coffin. No. Do you know what's that? That's that Conway where he goes like
oh.
Imagine you're like you're like being lowered into the
Everyone thinks it's like breaking.
Panda. I got brought to the ladder. That'd be so funny. I'd enjoy that wedding.
Yeah, but if you were to have like a playlist of some kind, like what songs would you kind of have? Oh, I also have Long Gone by Phum Viphurit, and that song to me is all about death. It's not even about leaving; it's about death.
Oh,
to me.
I don't know, man. For me, I've not thought about this a lot. But if I die,
would it be that song you were playing last time? The frog song, whatever.
I definitely want it to be a happy song.
Right.
I don't want
played happy or played like sadly.
Played in its original format. I don't know.
Is there a DJ there? Is it a band?
I want there to be a band, but I don't know if it'll be like, I don't know, because I want my, in there's like some cultures where like funerals are like celebrations, like people come and dance.
Yeah.
Like in New Orleans and stuff, it's like
yeah.
It's like a thing, right? Like where I think it's a thing with like black people where like
it's like Haitian. It's a Haitian culture.
It's a Haitian thing.
Yeah. It's because there's a lot of Haitian culture in New Orleans. Orleans.
Yeah. So like if I die, I want it to be kind of a celebration. Actually, then big band, and then it'll be like a marching band, and then people will be dancing and shit.
Cool. If I lived after you, if you die before me, can I pick you out of the coffin and like dance?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That'd be lit.
And then we'll throw you in the air, and then catch you.
Yeah. It'd be sick. Make sure the outfit's sick though.
What do you want to wear?
Like Jordan 1s. No. This is hypothetical. Like realistically,
are you getting cremated or are you getting buried?
I'm Muslim. I have to get buried.
You're buried. Yeah, I'm cremated for sure.
Cause like realistically, it'll just be like a normal wedding. I mean, like Muslim funeral. But like hypothetically, I want it to be like a marching band, and like people are like dancing and shit, and then you like march down the street.
Yeah, that's like that movie Guava Island. When Childish Gambino gets shot in the end. Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
But they parade his body through town.
Yeah. I want it to be like that, and I want it to play songs, but I don't know. I don't know what to pick yet. Huh. But it'll be that mood, like people will be dancing and shit.
Yeah. Well, damn.
They're gonna sell ขายลูกชิ้น and stuff.
Why is it shit food?
What?
Why is it shit food?
Oh, okay. It'll just be like my favorite foods, like what I like to eat. and then people would just get served that, and it's gonna be a small festival of life.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think for me, like my biggest wish is that I want to record myself talking, and then I'll let my kids play it in the crowd to spook them. Be like, hey, what's up? How's the funeral going? and then before they burn me, right? I wanna have I videotape myself, and I'm like talking while they burn me.
This be like, oh shit, this is kind of hot.
This is kind of hot. It's a little hot.
It's a little hot in here.
Please take me out. Yeah. I mean, that sounds fun. I wouldn't hate that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Like, I want it to just be fun, you know? Like, it's like, I want people to just have fun, like, I guess, on my funeral, if that's possible. Like, obviously, like, be sad, like, too, but, like...
Yeah, I think a general rule for mine, and probably yours, too, is, like, smile. I don't like the idea, like, in Thai culture, like, at funerals, you can't smile. It's like frowned upon even. It's like they're like when they take photos, they're like, "Hey, yeah, don't smile," and then you take it. But like at my funeral, I'll be like, "You have to smile.
You have to smile, even if it's a fake smile."
Yeah, and then you have to you cry, but you have to smile too. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just life.
Well,
it's life.
They'll just watch it'll be a rush hour marathon at my it's just like while I'm getting buried, it's just rush hour. I'm gonna force everyone Yeah. They're all three rush hours.
All three.
What's
his name? The black guy, what's his name? Chris Tucker,
yeah.
He's so funny. Yeah,
he's a funny. Yeah, the whole time it's just kata.
He's so funny. Kata.
Yeah, Rush Hour, my favorite movie. Actually, I saw that recently, and I just think it's like the best thing ever made.
It's good. It's like really like well rounded. Like comedy.
It's like comedy before comedy wasn't allowed to be like. Before you had to like think about it, you know, before it got political. Before, yeah, and it's just so funny.
Yeah,
and then that's what's gonna be playing at my funeral, just Rush Hour.
On like a projector screen.
On a projector, yeah.
Shit, that's lit.
Damn. What about you? Will anything be played?
I think mine's gonna be music. A lot of it's gonna be music. I think.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. I want a tombstone, like my tombstone. To have like an aux chord, and then I'm gonna make a playlist, and then if you go visit my grave, you can play the playlist.
You just plug in your earphones, right?
It's like or a QR code or something, or you go and then you press play, and then it'll just play music.
Yeah. No, okay, I like that idea, but I'm not gonna play music. I'm just gonna record myself talking. Like, hey, what's up? Thanks for visiting my tombstone.
Thanks for visiting my tombstone.
And then I'll just like riff on like some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'll just, prank them. I'll be like,
that'd be pretty funny. Oh, look behind you.
I'm right behind you.
I'm right behind you. You're stepping on my head. Can you move the other way?
I'm gonna follow you tonight.
I'm gonna follow you tonight.
Where do you live? I'll go back there too.
That's pretty fucked.
That's pretty fucked. Yeah, really, truthfully.
But honestly, it's kind of weird because do you think about death like a lot or often?
I do actually, and I think it's because I'm Buddhist. I think that's a good transition because I think both of us we have low energy today, so.
I just woke up
I know, and I'm about to sleep too.
4 hours.
But I think it is probably a good transition into more deeper discussion, I guess, on like death and on whatever. But we can go back and forth. But what did you ask me?
No, I asked you. I asked you if you thought about death a lot.
Motherfucker. Yeah, I do. So it was my birthday recently, and every time it's my birthday, I think of death. It's so weird to me.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
He's a Scorpio boy.
Yeah. I always think of death, and I'm always like, I'll be gone soon. Like there's one more year, and like stuff like that. But like also like every day or like everything, every time I find I have like a obstacle in my life or like something's happening in my life, like you got to remind yourself that it's like all temporary, and like the pain or whatever you're feeling is temporary, and that like it will fade and it will go as you die. And like you're just here to like suffer. That's like a Buddhist interpretation of it. Like I'm here to suffer, right? And, like life is suffering. So like to leave is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. Do you think about death a lot?
Probably not as much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cuz and this is like, and like I'm Muslim, right? So the view on death is a little, it's like it's kind of the same. Like the purpose of life isn't to suffer necessarily. Like suffering is a big part of it, but the purpose of life is more of like a sort of like a big like lesson. Just imagine like taking a course and like an exam, basically for your soul. Like your soul gets put into a body.
Yeah.
And then throughout your life, you just get tested on like what decisions you make and shit.
I see.
And then you just like get judged for that decision after you die. So it's like kind of like a simulation.
But there's like infinite souls then, right? In the Muslim context.
Yeah. So your soul
in the Islam context,
like your soul is infinite. Like you're like it doesn't.
No, I
like,
mean. So there's like infinite amount of souls that is revolving in the world, right? So it's like
it's not
like one soul,
yeah.
like
there's
one
no
soul
reincarnation.
Okay, yeah,
no reincarnation. It's like one soul. You get put through the trials. Life is
trials,
like a big trial,
a test, and then you die,
you die,
get judgment.
And then you get judgment. It's either reward or not reward. That's what it's like. But and death is like a big part of it. Like you're always like, they're always like talking about death, and like this life is like people see it as a temporary thing, as in like it doesn't matter as much as the afterlife.
How often is like the theme of death kind of like referred to in like the Quran or something, or like whatever teaching? All the time.
Yeah.
In what light?
In the light of like, like you need to do all the shit that you need to do before leaving. In a sense where like be a good person because you can die whenever, and then like after you die, there's no chance to like come back and fix your errors.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like mostly,
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's similar. I think in Buddhism, this it mirrors a little bit, but the idea is that it's kind of written by the past life that you've done. So whatever shit you've done in your past lives, not even the most previous one, your accumulated one, is resulting in your life now. So like if you're like, for example, if you're like poor or disabled or whatever, now the idea like this is like, let's take it for what it is that you are suffering for what you did in your past lives.
Yeah.
But the idea is that maybe like in your past life you were like cutting up animals, you were like hurting animals, you were like, and then now you were born like without a foot, without an arm or something, right? Like that's the idea. Like obviously, like when you put science and ethics to it, it's a different conversation. But this is the idea of it, and like once you die, or like once you're born, you're here to either make good of it and then try to fix it, or but the most of it is just living out your pain. Like you've caused pain in another life, so you must use up that pain. Yeah. So life is suffering, like what I was saying. Like it's like it is what it is. You reap what you sow. I think that's the term, right?
So it always comes back. It's always balanced.
Yeah, it's always balanced. And like the idea, like I asked about the infinite thing because like the reincarnation. So like the idea is that there is a finite number of souls, right? And like you either get enlightened or you do this
over and over again,
and it's like millions and millions of times. Like that's the idea. and there's only like people who like Buddha and like some like because there's multiple Buddhas. There's not just one Buddha.
Is Buddha just someone who is finally free from the cycle of being reborn again?
Yeah.
So any soul can be a Buddha.
Yeah. Any soul can be a Buddha, but it's like a cycle thing. So apparently, like you like civilization must dip down to its lowest, and then the cycle will continue.
Oh,
like I don't know how that aligns with society. Like I don't know.
So like the Buddha, the Buddha
right now is the Buddha, Siddhartha.
Yeah, the prince.
The prince Siddhartha.
Yeah. So why is he like?
I think he's one of them. I think he's like the third one or something. Like I'm not too.
But he's just
on my literature, but on it.
So he's just someone who just preaches his stuff.
No, he is the Buddha, but like
Okay.
he is the like the third cycle of it or something, and there's like multiple cycles of it. It's like the Avatar.
Oh, so it's the same soul.
It's not. No, okay, I take that back. It's not the same soul. So
Okay.
once they finish. But like,
Yeah. It's like prophets. It's like prophets.
Yeah, and it'll come around again like a cycle, and like Buddhism and I think most religion is all about a cycle, right? A cycle is like a idea in all civilizations, but mostly in Indian cultures, right? And
that's very interesting.
yeah, so like I said, civilization has to dip down to its lowest. It like burns itself apart. It turns to nothing, and then a prophet, I guess, if you want to use that word, comes to life again, and then they preach the way of something, which they don't know yet. Like the traditional story is that Buddha didn't even know what to do. Like he was in ways like a scientist. Like he was figuring out how to reach that enlightenment in his lifetime, his last lifetime, and he achieved that by the end of it. Yeah, but I don't want this to turn into like a Buddhist lecture,
crash course,
to Buddhism,
crash course to Buddhism.
But I do think that it is important because we come from different worlds, and I think the interpretation of death is different.
Very
different. Like because I see it as like it has to be, and like don't be afraid of it. It's like part of the cycle. It will happen again and again and again. And like I think a lot of people I don't want to say shit on Buddhism, but they critique Buddhism. That's a better word. For like Buddhists being quite nihilistic, right? Being like you'll die, like whatever. We'll do it again next life. Like don't care about this life because next life is because that's nihilism, right?
That's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the general critique.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is to let
do your
go
best.
of let go of the desires, let go of earthly, demands
attachment
of your life. Yeah, attachment.
I feel though that the let go of worldly desires is like present in like almost every religion. Like the concept of life and death in Islam, you could argue is related to the idea of like, to let go off of the earthly attachment. Because the idea is the same. For Buddhism, it's like, this is one life and you need to transcend.
Yeah.
Because life is just material. It's just not like, it's not like.
It's not real.
It's not
the game. It's not the real thing.
It's not the game. It's like,
it's not the simulation.
Don't get distracted by all this shit when like there's like, life is like, there's more to it. The meaning isn't just what's around you. It's the same thing with Islam. It's just like, like this shit, your life is just an illusion. It's just a test. It's like to test your soul. Like everything around you, everything that happens to you is like God's way of like, like what the fuck is this guy gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. I think it's kind of mirrors in a lot of other religions too.
Yeah,
I think
like the point is to escape all of this. The point is to see beyond like anything that's in front of you right now. And I think that's like the point of like religion. Is because like, maybe. You know, like if we didn't have religion, like, you know, you'd only be focused on like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna eat and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, where am I gonna sleep? Where it's dry and I need food and I need a shit and I need to, you know, pass on my genes or whatever.
It's like primitive, like nothing.
It's primitive, yeah. But religion is just like, it makes people, human beings, to see beyond all of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think at its, if you want to be critical about religion in general as a discourse, I feel like people probably just used it to explain life around.
Yeah.
Like take out the faith side of it. Okay, like see religion for it being a tool or something, a tool for political gain or social stability, and it was that. Like, it was meant to capture this subset of the population in order to be like us versus them, right?
Yeah, it's a philosophy.
It is a philosophy, and it's to create this tribal mentality and to better govern people. Like, if you can govern 1 million people through just ideas and their self-belief, then you're good. Yeah. Like, you can like all the kings in past times and even current times, they derive their right from God, or whatever divine beings they have, right? And that's the idea, right? They use religion as some kind of tool in order to solidify their base, or consolidate their base. That's my view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is very. Because now it's like religion and the state are always separate. So we found a way to like keep religion as something private and not public. Which is interesting. Not a lot of countries are like theocrats. You know what I mean? Not a lot. Some are still.
Are you sure about that? I feel a lot of countries still are. It's a lot of the Islamic states, no?
Not so much. Like they'll have like a lot of countries in the Middle East have like separate courts. There's a religious court and there's like a civil court.
Well, I'm just imagining Malaysia and Indonesia and stuff.
Oh, no, it's secular. Like the law.
Oh, you mean like the government itself?
Yeah, like the government.
Okay, sure. It's not a secular state. Sure.
Like some like imam, and he's like, you know what I mean? It's not like the state is like.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, but
But I think you would have to agree that a lot of these countries that I said are like dominated by those religions too. Yeah. Like Thailand's dominated by Buddhism, like without a doubt, and it's causing rifts in the south, as you might know.
Yeah.
Because the government has aligned itself to a particular religion, which is not the intention.
It's not the intention. It's just, I feel like, honestly, the state has to be separate.
It has to, of course.
It has to. Like,
but even in the States, in like the United States, they're like, it's a secular
one nation
state.
Under God.
Exactly.
One nation
in God
under
we
God.
trust. In God we trust. But that was only implemented during the Cold War, when I think Reagan or someone,
they had to fight the commies.
Yeah, basically that was the reason why they brought it back, because they saw that communism is related to being secular.
So it goes again. It's just like a uniting.
It's a political tool. No,
it's a political tool. Like in World War II, every country thought God was on their side. Like you see like World War posters, and it's just like, oh, like do this for Jesus. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's powerful.
Jesus loves everyone.
Like, yeah, it's powerful. Religion is probably the most powerful thing, because it's like it deals with your life, but like beyond your life. You know what I mean? It's not only does it like, is it your identity? It's like, it's more than that, because it goes beyond your lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to bring it back to death, really, because we've diverted so far from death itself, but just talk about faith.
Yeah, but we have religion because we have death, I think.
I guess so. Like you're trying to explain what's happening, you know?
Yeah. Like imagine...
Yeah. Play it.
Wait, no. Imagine if we didn't die. Do you think we would have come up with religion as an idea, as a concept?
I think we still would have, but
you think we still would have?
But not as it is now. It'll look different.
Yeah, like if we're all vampires, I feel like religion wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Yeah. But I think it would produce some kind of belief system, though. It'll be because they if we were vampires, let's assume we were undead.
Yeah.
I feel like we would still have to explain why the moon looks the way that it is. The stars move the way it is. Because traditionally religion kind of taught you that too. Like the church kind of interpreted the stars and the moons and the calendars and the blah, blah, blah. So that's like true. It's like a system of understanding. It's like the original scientist.
Yeah. The original scientist. Yeah, I agree. But I do think though that it'll look different. Like I do think that like death is like the only thing that humbles like humans. Like humans think that they're shit, man. Like honestly, if I didn't die, I'd be like, yo, like, you know, like I'm a fucking transcendent being. Like, you know, like I wouldn't give a shit about anything. I do whatever I want, but the having death there,
really,
or having your life as a finite thing.
That's so interesting.
Your life as a finite thing makes you sort of humbled in a way where it's like not like you're just like humans are so fragile, and that's where all the beliefs come from, in my opinion. Like that's where God comes from. It's just like we can't be gods where we all die, so there must be something that is higher than all of us, and that's the idea of like where deities and stuff come from. And at least that's what I think.
No, I think that's also kind of flawed too, because the process of seeing someone being born is also unexplained.
No, but like the process of being born is, but like when you know that you're gonna die, there's like, when you know that you're gonna die, there's like a thing that's like, oh, there must be something higher than me.
Sure, I agree with you, but I'm saying that like I feel like you should also see it from like
I'm not saying
birth as well.
Yeah. Death is not like the origin of like gods or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's like it's the thing that humbles people, and I think it's the reason. I don't know.
I mean, you say that, and you say that you're like, you would be like you wouldn't give a shit, and like you would just live life like a fucking god, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, let's talk about life a little bit, right? If you don't have death, I feel like you won't value life.
Of course, yeah.
And then I think you'll spend a whole year of your life, quote unquote life, being like a couch potato or something, or like doing nothing, or like whatever, like killing people. I don't know. Like you can't even kill people. Like, I don't even if you can't die.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like having death provides meaning to
everything.
You know how like there's an argument saying that there's like your job makes your vacation a vacation.
Yeah.
Like a vacation only exists because you have a job.
Yeah.
And fun only exists because you have a job.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a job, fun doesn't exist.
It
just is. It's
a state.
It's just a state of you living.
Yeah. Death is interesting. Death is very death is interesting. Like
nice, bro.
Yeah.
Death is interesting.
Death is interesting. Like everything, like I was thinking that like I saw this video and it was like imagine if like the existence is like an escalator that keeps going to an endpoint, which is death. Life is like an escalator that keeps moving, and in order to end all of the things that every living
John
thing,
Mayer song.
No, dude. Every living thing is like moving against the escalator that's like going to death.
Huh.
So
moving
imagine
against.
Yeah, so imagine if the escalator is taking you down. Life is running the other way. But eventually, you can never get to the end of the escalator.
I don't get it.
Okay. Just imagine you're at a mall, okay? And the escalator is going down.
What mall is it? What mall is it? What do they sell at the mall?
They just sell. It's a mall, dude. Like I don't know.
I have to imagine it.
It's a supermarket. I guess.
Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Krispy Kremes. So the escalator is going down, and the first floor is like death. So your life is exerting energy to go against, to run up the escalator. But eventually the escalator will bring you to the floor because you have to die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's and it's every living thing, like plants, like fungus, anything. It's just like it's inevitably everything's battling death.
Yeah,
like nothing wants to die. Yeah,
yeah, that's like a core tenet of Buddhism too.
Yeah,
like all things must go.
Yeah, all things must go.
Was it? All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. Good album. Go listen to it. But in Buddhism, there's like the good get jab die, right? Is to be born, is to get old, to get sick, and to die.
Yeah.
And that's like a normal thing that people say in Buddhism, at least the Theravada stream of Buddhism. And I feel like obviously it's probably part of every culture, but like it's super ingrained into like the Buddhist one. It's like super like it's part of it, hand in hand. Like you were born to one day die. Like you are born to live to suffer, then you die, and you do it again, and then you do it again. It's like to understand that it is quite a routine, and it's like you're doing it again and again and again, and it's like nothing to fear of. I feel like I feel that people who don't really understand this kind of idea or come to terms with this idea find it difficult to live life in general because they feel things are permanent to them. And they feel like in this moment it's so important to me that like I don't know, like this parking spot is mine. Like, like what the fuck, bro? It's just like whatever. Obviously that probably like, is a really bad example, but you get my point. Like people kind of stress over.
They get caught up. They get too caught up in whatever's like.
Yeah, which is like that's not the point. Like you gotta move forward, man. Like there's like everything is so like temporary in life, and like the thing is like you gotta understand that not only is pain, anger, all the bad feelings in your life are temporary, the happy ones are temporary too. Right? And it's like up and down. And like you gotta separate yourself from that. Like that's the idea of Buddhism, is to separate yourself from pain, fear, anger, happiness even. Like you're not meant to feel anything. Like that's the idea. And like that's the extent I think that like I guess like I don't know about Islam. I feel like that's what Buddhism is like pushing a little bit further with in terms of like worldly attachments. Is that you're meant to feel a straight line. Like you're meant to you're not even meant to feel. You're meant to be just is.
Yeah.
Like it just is.
Yeah.
And that's so hard to grasp as like someone who is Buddhist, because like when you're content with something, you're not meant to be content with it. You're just meant to be it. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you're just meant to be there, but not to be overly happy or overly sad. Like it's just like you gotta be there. And I don't know. Like this is just a long-winded way of saying that. Like I feel like how I've been taught about death, at least, has been so like in my life, and it's like I think like I out of all our friends, like I'm the one who's like always talking about like shit like this. Like I'm always like, yo, like we're gonna die one day, man. Like fuck that, man. Like don't stress about this ex, bro. What the fuck? We're all gonna die. He's gonna die. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah. I think it's a little different. I think Islam is more of just like, you're just here like that's the idea. It's just death is just the end of your exam. It's just like when someone's like, you have 5 minutes left in your exam.
But what is like it's mostly about like materialism, right, and stuff like that, right?
What do you mean?
Like to not be attached to like material wants.
Yeah, not to be attached to material wants. Like everything is.
But
just
also like pleasures, I think.
Yeah, pleasures, material wants, and stuff like that. Like your purpose in life is just like, it's just all a big simulation that you just have to go through in order to prove yourself to God or something. That
interesting.
Yeah, man. But death is like a super interesting thing to talk about, because I feel like everyone views it differently. I think recently I've kind of not accepted it, but I've kind of just had this thought of like not being afraid to die. Because before I was just like, that's like, I'm afraid to die. And obviously I'm still afraid to die, but more of in a sense where like I want to keep living, obviously, but dying I wouldn't mind so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I died, like I wouldn't have anything that I regret or anything like that. I'd just be like, all right, I guess it's time to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, like obviously I want to keep living. Like there's so many things that I need to do still, or I want to do still.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me though, I think for a long time I haven't been scared of death itself. I think I'm scared of not being able to leave a mark that I do want to leave, as well as like I think my biggest fear is to be forgotten, and like I make a conscious effort not to be forgotten.
Oh, so you want to make your
literally like stamp my mark, my little marks, little marky marks everywhere. And I think to me like that scares me. I think nothing in life scares me more than that. Like
that people forgetting.
Yeah. And like I don't mean that in like a soft kind of way. I mean that in like a very grand and like gesture kind of way. Like I want to do something where like people remember me, man. Like I want to be in textbooks. I want to be like
really?
remembered.
I think we're all kind of like that in a sense.
Some people know, man. Some people don't. I've asked people, and they're like, I just want to get money and like live a happy life, have children, and die. Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's good. Great.
I think that for me, it's like that need is there too, but for me, it's just like I want to make like stuff. Like I don't have to be remembered, but I want the stuff that I make. Like that's the reason for art for a lot of people that make art or anything like that. It's just like they want to make something that transcends them. You know, like if I make art and
I think I feel the same way. Yeah.
And I give life to this to my art, art will outlast me.
Yeah.
Like Shakespeare's been dead for fucking 100 years, man. Like hundreds of years, but like he lives on through his work.
He lives in you.
So that's like, so I think me and you are similar in that way.
Yeah, no, we are. Like I think of it more of like instead of like an actual art piece, I think of like policies. Action.
Well, it's just the same thing. It's the same
thing. It's like a product of my
art.
effort. Yeah. And I think to me that's fucking scary. Like you know me, I don't really express my fear of a lot of things. Like I'm just like it just is like like it might be like startling. That's different. Like it doesn't scare me to the core. Like holding a snake or something will like startle me and like maybe first feeling like nah, but like I will touch it. Like I will come to terms with it. But like this is like something I can't get over. It's like I can't. And it's like very existential, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
man.
Deep, bro.
I
didn't expect this.
That just got pretty. I mean, we're talking about death, dude. Like that's like the one thing that we all have in common.
Well, we all have noses.
And some people don't really.
Those people don't die.
Those people don't die. No, but yeah. Any concluding thoughts on death? I think we're approaching.
I feel like death
minutes.
is the concluding thought.
Death is the concluding thought. What I wonder, like, is like, do you know when you're gonna die? Like when people die, like right before they die, they're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die right now.
They do. I think they do.
Really? Yeah. That's so scary, bro. Like
yeah,
imagine just being in that state of like consciousness where it's just like you're recognizing that you're gonna die. Yeah. Fuck, that must be so scary.
Yeah.
And no one knows what that feeling's like.
Truly. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been on the other end. Like I've seen like like I was here. Like my grandpa passed, right? And I was in the room where he passed. Yeah. And like he was at home. And like so we didn't have like all like the beep beep beep. We didn't have that. We just had like the blood thing, the heart rate thing. Yeah. So we like we saw it and we're like, it's gonna be in like the next 5 minutes. So we just sat there and we just like saw his like last breath basically. And it was like, to me, like that memory will never go away. Yeah. Cause like it's like the moment between life where like someone is warm and then a second later someone is cold. Which is like take my grandpa element out of it, okay? Like that's crazy. Like just take like the human body, okay? From warm to cold within a second or whatever, right? Yeah. And like the idea of touching someone who has a personality to someone who doesn't have a personality anymore. Boom. Yeah. Like I don't like, to me, like in that moment, like it gave me so much material to think of. Like there's so much things to explore out of that.
Oh my god.
But that was an experience for me. But I feel like death is something that I think we will have to explore throughout our lives. Like
I don't think anyone can truly come to terms with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So too, yeah. And I think we're at the age where people our age are dying. I have a friend who passed, and like it sucks, and but I feel like it's part of growing up is to feel these pains and to go through these things and come to terms in different ways, because you start from looking at older people dying, then maybe one day your people like your parents maybe like a little closer to you now. And now it's your friends, and now it's your siblings, and now maybe if unlucky, like your kids. Yeah. Like there's a different kind of pain. So I don't know, man. Like, I feel like everyone's going through this shit. Like you said, everyone feels it. Everyone can associate with it, right? So I guess that's the concluding thought, is that we all have to suffer through this together, guys. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give up, and it's normal. I think people people should come to terms with what death is, in terms of like it has to happen. And like I think my biggest takeaway out of this or advice would be for people to see things as temporary. I think it'll make your mental health better, in my opinion. Yeah, honestly. Anything you want to say? For
nothing really, man. Like it's just like death is something that nobody can escape, obviously. So like in the time that you have, like why not make it sort of like make whatever you're doing like the best that you can do. Like everything should be the best, because then so you'd be your best self and then experience all the things that life has to offer. Because there's lots of shit to do, man. Like the world might be small, but there's like so many people to meet, so many things to do, like so many places to see and shit like that. So do
be
whatever
your best self.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do now, and like, you know what I mean, like.
Live your best life.
Because you're gonna die, you know.
Wow.
Because one day it's all gonna be gone. So why not?
Yeah.
You know?
So sad. Anyhow, we have a tradition here to share music with the listeners of the Balcony AUX Chord podcast. And like I said, this is where we get to share our thoughts on music and share music with each other on our balcony in the past. And this is where it comes from. So first song I'd like to recommend is Doing My Best by Tuxedo. Nice. And then the second song I'd like to recommend is Father Stretch, which is a cover of Father Stretch My Hands, but this is specifically by Sunday Service Choir themselves, without Kanye.
Oh.
Your turn.
My turn. Wait, what the fuck? What's
your turn. Called? Live your best life, everyone.
This is a Carlos Santana album that I recently first heard through it was in Khung Bin's like late night
he was
thing.
The first track, right?
So by the way, Khung Bin released like Late Night Tales, which is like a collection of songs that inspire them.
Yeah, which is
basically
crazy.
And like a lot of bands have this, and for Khung Bin they had one Carlos Santana song, and it's called Illuminations. And it's Carlos Santana and Alice Coltrane, so John Coltrane's daughter, I'm thinking, presuming.
Maybe.
And they go off like it's I think the theme is like it's Buddhist, like Eastern philosophy, like that's the theme.
Interesting.
So the first track in that album is like a chant by like a guru, and he just says Om for like 2 minutes. and then it's followed by like 5 instrumental tracks that will like blow your
brains out.
So this week I don't want to do one song. I want to just do that album.
Okay, great.
It's crazy.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Findi, for talking to me about this. To all the listeners, I know this kind of started off funny and it dipped into some deep shit. If you're here, thank you for listening and participating in this discussion. We'd love to hear from you guys. I know it got a little religious. Not even a little. It got a lot religious. But I hope if you aren't Buddhist, aren't Muslim, you're able to learn something from this conversation. Maybe exchange thoughts, because I learned a lot from talking to Findi just now. Like there's some stuff I just didn't know, and I found this very educational. And self-reflecting is always great, so please go do that. And you know what, share, subscribe, like the video, tell a friend, tell us what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of.
You too. Yeah, we want to hear less of.
We want to hear less of you too. Just give us like 2-minute podcasts, please. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Findi. Bye.
Bye.